Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, we are high up in the Huckleberry Range in Northeast Washington. I assume you don't know where the Huckleberry Range is, and that's fine. Nobody does. That is kind of Chewelah and west of Chewelah. So, that's the Huckleberry. Huckleberry Range is out there. So, the plan is for today, we are hiking out to a potential mine site. Now, the potential mine site in question is the Wells Fargo. The Wells Fargo mine, the Wells Fargo mine was started in 1897 by the Wells Fargo Mining Company out here. 1897 to 1920 is when Wells Fargo had it. It changed hands and was periodically mined for another 20-ish years, seasonally, because out here there gets too much snow. The mine in question was an antimony mine that produced very small amounts of gold and silver, kind of secondary. So there's a couple of adits, an exploration shaft, and apparently some tailings. Now, there's a couple of really unique rocks and minerals come from this mine. At least that's what I think. The thing is here, the last time anybody had ever posted a photo of the rocks from this mine site was 2002. Doesn't mean they came out here in 2002, just means they shared a photo in 2002. So I think it's fair to assume late 90s, mid 90s was the last time somebody came out and attempted to locate the Wells Fargo. No good photos, nothing really to go on. But I think we're going to get it. We're going to go out there. So antimony, there is known to be large amounts of stibnite crystals shipped with the ore body that was being mined. Zeekonite, pyrite, those things. So, yeah, I mean, this road that we're walking down out here is actually a closed gated road, but accessible by person, just no motors. So we'll see. It's a beautiful day out here. Maybe you can see right in the middle of your screen there's a little bend in that. There's some clear workings down there. I'm very curious about that. And this is the view up here today. Quite nice. So this whole area out here, we have a lot of magnesite, which, we're out here in the magnesite belt of Washington. Magnesite mines are, somewhat active. When I say somewhat active, I mean World War I, World War II, but you have all these accessory minerals. We got dolomite, limestone, pyrite, bismuth, stibnite, magnesite, your marbles, argillite, all these different things. And we have all kinds of different exposures, just like that. There's some exposures up the road here. Keep spinning you around. And then maybe you can see up here on the hill, there's also some more up there. So kind of at this little mini cut as we walk up the road here. Sarah just pointed whatever this is out. Get the stick out of the way. Whatever that is. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really have the stuff or the tools to come back and chip away at it. Maybe we can try to identify this though from the video. I'll take a photo. So this is that the rock pile or whatever that I pointed out across the way a little bit ago. Not my pin for the Wells Fargo, but let's see what we have here. Heck is this? So stacked in layers, some kind of like slate shale we can see, oh, this piece is pretty good to see it. We can see there's some clear depositing. It's actually kind of pretty. Look at that. I believe that's what that is. You know, when you start to get into some of these metamorphic rocks, things can look so different from place to place. Look at this. Yeah, we still got a little ways to go, but you see out there where we came from, we had to hike all the way up that canyon and then back. Let's keep going. We can come back and look at this on the way out. Okay, so right there. Imagine that rock was right there. Look at all the crystals in that. So clearly, that came from up there. And
we needed to take that other road.
Yeah. So the plan is here, you probably just drop that. We're probably not going to be taking that out. The plan here is we're going to be walking over to that bend there, and then we can survey this area because the mine might be just above us a little bit. It's hard to know exactly, and maybe launch the drone for some aerials. So this must be it. What you're looking at here, we got the road, and then notched in here, there's a clear opening. Now, I feel like what we have here is a collapsed adit. So, you know, this was probably the lower adit going in, and it's just collapsed over time. All this rocks came down. So that means about 200 feet up into the southwest, there will probably be another. And then probably a shaft up there as well. But yeah, this is just the stuff from the portal. Probably nothing too special. Looks like some type of shale that they made the entry into. Very glad that I was able to bring the drone. You can clearly see up the way. There's this kind of like secondary road, and there's certainly workings above it. So the report saying that there's a secondary adit appears to be true. Whether or not it's accessible, that's a whole other thing, right? It's coming across. Appears to be quartz crystal. So this is going to be adit number 2. Also collapsed. Huh. Yeah, I wonder. Is that the adit, or was that the adit? Why is there like a weird, unexpected assortment of rock here?
Well, this is the outside of the hole. They like threw all this stuff out.
Yeah, but during the mining process, there should be more tailings, I would imagine. I mean, we're supposedly have 100 and I think it's 125 foot and 150 foot horizontal adits that are connected through a shaft. I guess we'll kind of poke around in the pile here and, I mean, look for any kind of waste rock that has anything of interest. I mean, the quartz is pretty, but it's just quartz. Obviously, we found some crystals, but
This rock is shiny, sparkly, but I'm not sure if it's really tiny. That one, really tiny pyrite, or
Well, we have some tools. We can always break some rock here. But the antimony is going to be kind of like a dark gray rock, kind of a dark gray rock, and it's going to kind of have almost like a galena appearance to it. So we'll maybe scrape around here in the piles and look a little bit farther down here. So I just walked down there, and I'm like, cool, check this out. That yellow could easily be like a sulfur. There's also uranium mining out here. I don't have my Geiger counter with me, but I was like, yes, look at this random lightly yellowed thing. And then Sarah showed me the thing that she found. Look at those pyrite cubes. Dang. Well, as always, Sarah's finding the better things. But that one's gonna go in the bucket for sure, along with this.
yeah.
Okay, so clearly there's pyrite out here, and it might be converted into lemonite. It's kind of hard to tell out here, but I don't want to take this whole rock home, so we'll just try to break it up. And of course, these are the only two tools that I brought because chisels are heavy and hand sledges are heavy. It's always tempting to keep going. You don't have to walk it out, but you're on the risk of destroying your sample. I think that's good. I like that. There's 3 in there. I can pack that out. So Sarah's walking back towards the second adit. I went all the way up this hill, kind of towards that big tree right there in the middle. There is another road up there. I was kind of trying to look for the shaft, at the very least so I could flag it for other people, but didn't see any shaft. So we'll just go back up here to this upper adit, I think, and then we will maybe poke around some more. I really was hoping to find some antimony, but, you know, it's what it is, right? You know, when we find stuff like this, it always makes me wonder, right, how obscure this has now become since the 1800s, well, 1940s. And I turn around and I look out at places like that, and well, I mean, look at it back there. What else is hiding back there in those hills? So this is everything that we're taking back. This is kind of interesting. No more once I can get it under the microscope. Little black spots. But yeah, I mean, there's clear quartz crystal out here. The real question is that coming from within this old adit, or is this coming out of, you know, kind of sloughing off and coming down? It's a little hard to tell. I mean, as we've walked out here, there's been all kinds of shifts in the rock, and it's at this point it's a little hard to tell if it was because of man or because of just natural erosion. Look at the dog. Look at her in that stick. It's funny. Cool. So we're gonna roll on out, and maybe we'll stop and look at some of the other little spots on the way out. Look at all of that, all the pyrites. Yeah. 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 Well, I'll leave that for the... Check this piece out. Wow. All that pyrite. Pyrite, lemonite. We'll leave these pieces for the next adventure if anybody ever wants to come out here. Well, it's always good to spend some time hiking around in the mountains with Sarah and the dog. And well, it was great to be able to go out and locate the Wells Fargo mine. I was a little surprised to find the material that we did. I was really expecting to, maybe get some antimony, maybe find some of the other minerals that are out there. Well, as you saw, you can't really do that if the adits are collapsed, and I didn't exactly have the stuff to, go trying to open those things up. Who knows what you're going to find in something that old. But overall, a great experience. We hiked a little over 5 miles from where we left the truck. We did approach from the north. There might be a southerly approach that you could make to it, but I'm not too sure about that. It might be doable. The material, I managed to get out some of the pyrite, lemonite cubes, which that kind of brings up its own thing, right? At what point does pyrite become lemonite? I don't exactly know. So there's that. I like to usually end these videos with, some cool research, some knowledge that I can impart in you, and this one may not be that. So a good example would be this. I know that this is a shale, right? We can even see how this has kind of a taper to it, and you have these individual layers being stacked. It's actually quite pretty. I don't believe this would qualify as slate, but it's one of those things where, there's just not a whole ton of information out there. A little surprised at some of the size of these, which is kind of cool to see. Makes me really wonder what else is out there, There's definitely some quartz crystals out there, okay? We can just see it. Heck, you can see it right there. I did take some photos with the microscope. Some of the little black things, that's just more lemonite. This yellow stuff, okay? Let's talk about this yellow stuff. I've spent a ton of time looking at this, right? Like, under the microscope, you name it. I've been looking at this. I have no idea what the heck it is. It doesn't match up anything in my books. It's a little weathered. I want to say it's some type of sulfide, but I can't place it. No idea. That it's interesting, right? Like you can spend so much time looking at rocks, studying rocks, trying to figure out what the heck it is you're looking at all the books, and still you're just going to come across things where you're like, I have no idea what in the heck I'm looking at. And that's just the way I think it is. I'll save these. I can reapproach them maybe in a future video, future year, with some additional knowledge, and be able to figure it out. This is going to go be put aside for a special project, though. But I think we're going to leave that one there, everybody. I appreciate you coming along, hanging out. There will be a link down below to the listing for this mine. It's an interesting one, and it's going to be a difficult one for anybody to get to that wants to go. Well, we'll leave that one there. Thank you so much for watching my entire video. If you like the videos, well, you'll probably also like the website, currently rockhounding.com. There's all kinds of great listings and articles, and it's growing all the time, along with different photos. Just go check it out. Go check out the website. It's free. There's no ads. It's just there for your enjoyment. So, as always, thank you so much for coming by the channel, hanging out with me, watching. Take care, everybody.